Hello everybody, I'm Greg. Welcome to Greg's Beer Reviews today. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Alright guys, thanks for stopping by Greg's Beer Reviews today. This beer is from Epic Brewing. This is their Imperial India Pale Ale, their Exponential series. Right on the side of the bottle here, it's got release number, and then it's got something the other side is marked out, and it's got 3 beside of it. And from what I've got off of Beer Advocate Rate Beer, there was no 3. It's release 1, 2, and a 4. But they all have different ABVs, and this one's got 9.9% ABV on it. So according to this is release number 4. They only made 1,800 bottles of this. Brewed once, so it's not to be brewed again, I guess. Each one is a little different, I guess, since they're getting different ABVs. They're not using the same recipe. The Epic Brewing is out of Salt Lake City, Utah. So I think they're new to Virginia. They've not been in Virginia very long. I think this year is the first year they've been here. It is, like I said, a limited brew. They only brewed it once. It's American Double Imperial IPA, like I said, coming in at 9.9. Food pairings for this cuisine would be barbecue. The cheeses are peppery, Monterey, pepper jack, blue, sharp, all your more pungent cheeses, even Gorgonzola and Limburger. The meat for this is grilled meat, game, and salmon. Your more stronger meat dishes. The glassware is Snifter Tulip, oversized wine glass. I got the Dubell glass. That's what I like to use for this. And it's almost 10% beer. The alcohol is going to keep, but the hops are going to fade. So that being said, just get your cap off of it. Get it in a glass. Alright, let's see if we can generate any kind of head on this high alcohol beer. There we go. That pours a very light honey amber colored. Fairly clear. I can see the bulb right through it. Maybe just a little bit of chill haze just right out of the fridge. Looks pretty good in the glass. Don't have a whole lot of bubbles streaming up from it. It looks like it's a thicker, heavier beer. So let's get a nose on this one. Little floral, little citrusy, little grapefruity, little piney to it. I don't know exactly when release 4 was done, whether it was spring. It's got here, it doesn't say when it was done, so I don't know exactly how long this beer has been out. Whether it was last year's, this year's. I probably should have done a little bit more research on this. Find out when exactly release number 4 was done, so if any of the subs know, just give me a comment back on this one, and so that way everybody else will get the information. Or while I'm sipping, I might look it up on the computer to see if I can find out exactly when release 4 was done. So, without me flapping anymore, it's got the standard qualities that a West Coast style would have, with the citrusy, grapefruity, got a sweet smell. Of course, it's a high ABV beer, almost 10%. So, cheers, guys. Definitely tell the alcohol is there. You get the heavy, sweet malt taste from such a large grain bill to get that kind of ABV. They really got to counterbalance that with enough hops, so it's either not too sweet or too bitter. And that's tasty. That's real tasty. It'll be a real good beer, last beer of the evening. in your home. Like I said, this is the Bomber, 10%. That's like 4 regular beers in one bottle. So just remember that. I mean, if you're used to drinking 5% beer, 4.5% beer, that's 4 beers in one bottle. So pretty tasty though. Got the grapefruit, citrusy, floral, piney. Very nice, very nice. And it's right out of the fridge. It's just going to get a little bit better as it warms up. Wow, pretty tasty, guys. We're gonna let it warm up. We'll sip on it, share a little bit of this. Stick around. I think it's gonna get a pretty good grade. Maybe even a beer. What do you think? Be right back. Alright guys, thanks for sticking around. Got just a little bit left in the glass here, and it's left a very nice icing on the glass there. Like I said, I poured this into the glass, the first part of it, and then poured the second glass from what was left in the bottle, and it looked like chocolate milk coming out of the bottom of this. So I went back in and looked up on their website when this was done, and this was not done. This is not actually a 4. It's got 3 on the label there, so this is a 3. And they did do a 3. And I don't know why Rate Beer doesn't have 3 listed. They have 1, 2, and a 3. Number 3 and number 4 have the same alcohol content, 9.9%. This beer was done in February of 2010, so this is August. So this beer is an IPA. It's a double. But it's an IPA, and it's a 1.5 years old. And it hasn't been available in Virginia for that long. So they basically sent us an old beer to get rid of it. So, not a big fan of that, guys. So, kind of weighs heavy on my mind that they've sent an old beer here just to get rid of it out of their warehouse for us to drink. And I'm going to tell you tonight, this is exactly why craft beer brewers don't want to put a date on their bottles. Because they know if I go in and I look at this, and it's an IPA, and it has a date, and it's a 1.5 years old, do you think I'm going to buy it? Hell no, I'm not going to buy it. So they know they can get away, and this will sit on the shelf for frickin' years till somebody buys it, knowing that it's going to taste like garbage after a year, especially being an IPA. So that kind of chaps my fucking ass. Excuse my language, but it burns me up. Final chug. This is a decent beer. It's an okay beer. It'd probably been a real good beer if I'd have got it in 2010 and not in August of 2011. So that being said, it's going to get a C. It's going to get a 4. They're going to take the time to print, separate from printing the label, what the alcohol is here on this little square and what the release is and all that. Put the freaking date on it. I'm gonna keep saying this till y'all assholes hear me. You're lucky I'll give you a D or an F. Put the date on it. That burns me up. It really burns me up when I buy a beer that old. If it's a stout or a porter, it's not a big whoop. But if it's an IPA, it is a big whoop. I don't want to pay $7, $8, $10 for a bottle of beer that's a 1.5 years old and it's an IPA. You think I'm gonna get the hops? No. Guys. Makes my blood pressure. I might have a beer now. What do you think about that? Rate Beer has a 94 overall and a 49 in the style, and Beer Advocate has a B+. It probably was a good beer at one time. But with that much sediment in the bottle, and I don't think it's bottle conditioned, so not a big fan of that. So Epic, thumbs down. That's what I'm going to give you. You're lucky you don't get a D. Guys, tell me how you feel about this. If you had this beer, you liked it, loved it. I'm going to be looking at Epic Brewery's beers from here on out. You can bet your butt on it. If it's not a stout and it don't have a date on it, it'll sit on the shelf till the cows come home. Guys, come back tomorrow. I hope I get a better beer that's got a damn date on it. What do you think about that? See everybody then.